You just gotta do stuff right. Hold on, let me see. Let me call him back now. It's working now. It's working now.
I just logged in.
Okay, you just logged it. Okay, great. No problem. Bye. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know that I still had it on members only. Brandon, turn off your camera. Brandon, I was telling
Yep.
you to turn off your camera if you wanted to, but you can keep it on if you want to.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for, I mean, we just wasted 15 minutes. Sorry about that. There's a feedback, Brandon. I don't know why.
There's feedback.
Yeah.
Test, test, test. Is that better?
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that better?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're fine. All right. So let me get into it. Let's start it right now. The elements of music. So, Fire Nation, today we're going to do something that sounds simple on the surface, but I promise you, by the end of this live, you will never listen to music the same way again, because most people think they know why they like a song. A lot of times they don't. Most people will say, hey, that song's hard, that song's bad, that song's catchy. But if I stop them and asked why, what exactly are you hearing? Is it the melody? Is it the flow? Is it the cadence? Is it the rhythm? Is it the hook? Is it the chorus? Could you explain the difference? For most people, the answer is no. And that's not an insult, Fire Nation. It's not. It's because music is one of the few things we consume emotionally before we analyze intellectually. These are facts. We feel it before we understand it. That's why I always say music is its own language. Today, we are going to pull apart the machine. We're going to lift the hood and look at every component inside a song, because every hit song is actually a collection of moving parts. Think like an engine with different gears moving, right? Think about it. How can two artists use the same rhythm and get completely different results? How can one song become a timeless classic while another song disappears 6 weeks later? How can an artist have incredible lyrics and still not make a hit? How can someone say almost nothing and create a global smash? The answer is because songs are made of different ingredients, and every ingredient serves a different purpose. So tonight we're going to break down melody versus cadence, flow versus rhythm, hooks versus choruses, versus bridges, and delivery versus lyrics. And by the time we're finished, Fire Nation, you'll understand while some songs move your feet, some songs move your emotions, and some songs move entire generations. So grab your notebook, get comfortable. Class is officially in session. And this is Miss Blue Fire, always taking you higher. I see you laughing at me there, Brandon. I see you're laughing at me, but you know me with my dramatics. I gotta be dramatic. Can't really hear you, Brandon, for some reason. I don't know why.
It's the classes in session. That's why
The
it's
class is
weird.
in session. Okay. Big up Horace, Mr. Morrison, and big up Andrew Cardoso. Big up, big up. All right, Brandon. So let's start because we don't have that much time, right?
Sure.
So I want you to I'm gonna tell you what I came up with. Don't be afraid to correct me. You've never been. So I don't see why you'd be afraid to correct me now. But let's continue. So I said, think of a song like a house. The lyrics are the words, the melody is the shape of the singing. The rhythm is the timing. The cadence is the pattern of delivery. The flow is how smoothly everything moves. The hook is the memorable part, or it should be. And the chorus is the main repeated section. But there are many more pieces. Anything to add there?
So you're on the right street. You I think you're just on the wrong house. You're in the wrong house in some of it. So but
Okay.
you're very close. So let's kind of break it down in general. Like what you said, let's break it down to the simplest form of music is like you said, it's an emotion.
Yeah.
And music is it's first art. And
Mm-hmm.
what I call music is honestly it's the art of organized sound
Mm-hmm.
and silence
Mm-hmm.
to express an idea or a feeling.
Right.
Anytime we have these sounds, like I said, they're organized between, like you said, the sounds and the pauses and all of that. So you are correct in saying that the lyrics are simply the words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now, I want to also kind of slow down and say this as well. We, how can we say? There's a difference when we say music and saying a song
Mm-hmm.
versus a piece of music. So
Right.
so a song is specifically a type of music that's sung by any human voice
Mm-hmm.
or a song that is sung by like a rapper
Right.
and it features like you said lyrics. A piece of music is kind of like more of a term that talks about the instrumental work or like a
Right.
karaoke track or a symphony or an
Symphony.
orchestra.
Right.
So it's like I said, so I'm just kind of giving you that as a, but you are correct. The words are the lyrics. They basically, they sing along with sometimes a person or an individual or a group, but the lyrics, like you said, it's what people sing or rap.
Right. Right.
Adele sings the lyrics and hello.
Yeah.
Eminem will use the words and lose yourself, which are rap. Those are the lyrics. Now you said the go back one second. You said
I
something
said the
about the yep.
okay, so let me tell you what I did. So I just gave a brief synopsis here
Yep.
on this, and
So
then
yeah,
each one
melody.
we're going to go through. So melody, we can start from here.
Yep,
So
the
what?
melody
Yeah,
is you kind of have the idea. I call it it's the main idea. It is the main component of everything that basically, like you said, it feels like the tune that you can hum. You can leave away with like you if you don't hear the instrument or any of that nature, you can just hear the one part. So if I play this, this is the melody. I hope you can hear. Can you all hear that?
perfectly, perfectly, perfectly.
So
So what
that's
I
a melody.
what I have as the description is the sequence of musical notes being sung or played.
Hmm.
Right? So it's really what people hum after hearing a song. When people say, I can't stop listening, that can't get that song out of my head, it's
Yep.
the melody, right?
Yep, that's
Right?
correct. It's the main idea of everything else. Like you can take everything else away, but the melody is the main component. You're right. Yep.
Right, right. So, right. The melody actually too, I have that it creates emotion, memorability, and replay value. Right, because
Yep.
that's where you feel the emotion, especially when you listen to the symphonies or when we used to do musical theater, etc. Right.
Yep.
So without a good melody, a lot of the songs become forgettable. Right.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And what I have too, what I realized too in the deep dive is that the melody is so important that sometimes the lyrics don't even have to make sense and you still love the song. And that's
Yes.
why like I'm able or other people are able to listen to music of different languages. We don't know what the hell they're saying, but the music itself, the melody itself, it's its own language. So I can tell if it's a song, a happy song, a fun song, a song about love, etc. Right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
good, good. All right.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, it is the thing that you take away from it. So I'm gonna try to. I'm trying to remember. That's not the melody, but we know what this is. But if I
Yeah.
did this, if I did,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so we're hearing the melody of cause this is thriller.
There.
But the other things are added to. But we don't really remember that. But we
Right.
remember it's getting done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what you
exactly
take
right.
away from it. Yep, it is
Exactly.
the main idea. You could
E-
whistle it, you could hum it. That's correct.
Exactly, exactly. So the dancehall example is many people we can sing the melody of a song without even remembering all the lyrics. Now let's move to rhythm because I know we gotta keep moving. So the rhythm, what is it? So this is what I put for the rhythm: the timing of the sounds,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
the rhythm determines when the words land, when the drums hit, the groove of the song. So like basically, you can clap a rhythm without singing a melody. So if you listen to this, everybody know that's happy birthday to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the rhythm of it. It's right,
Yeah.
right,
So here, okay, and
yeah,
I'm gonna jump just for a second there
yeah,
because the biggest thing that most people mistake
yeah,
or switch up is they confuse rhythm and beat.
right.
Those are two
Two different things,
totally different things.
right,
So I start with beat first because a beat is just a steady, it's literally a steady pulse.
right,
So your heartbeat
yeah,
is a beat.
is
How
a beat,
you your footsteps are steady. It is something that is completely recognizable. But like you said, the rhythm, I call it like this, like what I have on right now. That's
yeah,
kind of why I have on a watch. I
yeah,
call I call the rhythm musical time. So we can have some short beats,
yeah,
we can have some long beats,
right,
we can have some silence. It's all of those that are combined, sandwiched together. Yep, it's all
right.
sandwiched together.
But Brandon, what you just said is that the beat lives in the rhythm as well.
Yes,
That's what
correct.
you just said, right? So that's what we were saying. The reason why I made the distinction is because you remember when we used to take musical theater, we used to have to dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
rhythm. I found that the dancers we love the rhythm a lot. So the dance, the nod of the head, the move of the body, right? So people fall
Yep.
in love with songs depending on what your proclivity is in the art world in a lot of ways, right? So
Yep.
like Keitra would really love rhythms, right?
Right.
A lot of musicians they really fall in love with melodies, even though everybody could fall in love with melodies because we're emotional beings, right? Blessings,
Right.
Carol, and blessings, Francisco and Gaza Ricardo. Okay, let me go. So since you just talk about rhythm, I'm not going to go in my flow. I'm going to go straight to beat right now. Hold
Yeah, because
on.
they're because you like you just said, Julia. The beat falls within the rhythm.
Right. So what I
People will say, "Oh my gosh, the beat was incredible." It's not the beat
it's
that
not
you're
the beat,
feeling;
it's the rhythm.
it's the
Exactly.
rhythm.
It's the rhythm. So what I have as the beat is the instrumental foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So like that contains like the drums, the bass, the instruments, and the entire and the production. Tell me yes or no or
So some of it, yeah, it's more of, like you said, the drums. It
mhm.
is definitely production. We call it kind of like a loop, almost kind of.
Yes.
It just kind of continually. But I don't know. Okay, back in the day, we used to use this thing. It was called a metronome, but that's a beat. It would just go.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
But we can add all kind of things. So if I just do this as a beat, that's a beat. But there's nothing. But if I go, um,
Yeah.
that's those are the rhythms that are happening in there. So
Inside of the beat. Yeah.
or if I just do this, that's still that's beat. But if I go so that's a rhythm that's happening
Yeah.
in the beat of it. So you see what I'm saying? So those
Yeah.
are rhythms that happen, and that's a rhythm and a melody that's happening all
All at the
t-
same time.
together. Yeah, they're sandwiched together. But I like you said, it's the beat is combined within the rhythm. That's why I call it the flow of the beats. It's a musical time.
Yeah, and but the flow of the beat is different than the actual flow of the song.
Correct. Correct.
You see what I
Correct.
mean? So this is why I definitely wanted to you to be here, and
Sure.
this is why I definitely wanted to break it down because a lot of people are mixing it up, and it's not a matter of it's just a matter of words being interchanged and you know what I mean, used wrongly. All right,
Yes.
okay,
Now,
Yeah,
Do
go
you
ahead.
want to go to flow since we brought it up?
All right, hold on. Let me go to flow. But you don't want to do cadence first? You want to go flow? Okay, I'll go to flow. I'll go to flow.
Let's go to flow because
Okay,
I
let's go to
think
flow.
because
So this is what
funny
I
thing is flow
right. This is what I have with
kind of
flow.
can also
Yeah.
deal with what you kind of called like your hook or your chorus. Your flow is basically how a singer or a musician or a rapper can move rhythmically through the words.
Right.
It's the timing, it's the emphasis, it's the phrasing,
Right.
especially more like in rap, but definitely in the singing as well, right?
That's right.
So it's yeah, it is and I'm trying to think of a good example of like a flow how and I'm going to use the piano as so a flow could be um yes. Okay, so I'm going to play this. So you said it's finding that difference. So it's a rhythm, like you said it's the breath control.
It's
So
everything.
if I do okay, I'll use this as a flow. Um I'm going to do Alicia Keys. I'll go there.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it goes
That's
back
a
to
flow.
so there was kind of like this place where it just kind of like you
It,
said it's almost like you said circular in a way of like I said there's still the timing of it that still kind of feels
right.
within the
But it
within the
has to
speed.
do with the delivery as well. So that's why I have the flow is the
Yes.
cadence plus the
Mhm.
rhythm plus the delivery of it, right? And
Correct.
right. And so when it comes to singing though, the flow actually includes the breath control because that is
Yes.
right. So singing is different than
Yes.
the play, right? So it's the timing, the breath control, the rhythm, and the cadence together. That's what makes the flow, how smoothly the artist will ride the beat. Yeah.
Correct. And how
Yeah.
smoothly, like whether it's gentle or
Yeah.
whether it's continuous. Like there's times where it will feel smooth. There will be other times where the flow will actually be very short or separated, or
Staccato.
yep, staccato.
Staccato.
Yep, definitely. So it's that level, and I was trying to use words that are a little less.
Yeah. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I
But
know.
yes,
Yeah.
correct. It is definitely how and I say it like this. I tell my students this at the university all the time. If we speak a different way than we would sing.
Yes.
And so sometimes if the sentence was the cat in the hat wore a bat. I mean, held a bat. We would say that the cat in the hat wore a bat or held a bat. But when you're singing it, you may not be able to do that because there are certain things that you're going to emphasize a little bit more. And
That's right.
if you notice, like there are certain lyrics that artists may sing or even rap that are definitely more heavily emphasized.
Yes. Yeah. So we're going to go into that. But to that point, that is why when I've sang before on stage and people meet me afterwards, they say, I can't hear your accent when you sing. Of course, you can't hear my, or they say, like, I didn't know you had an accent until I start talking to them, right? And it's the same thing with even if you look at Rihanna and a lot of our Caribbean artists who sing R&B, etc. When you actually hear how they actually sing the words, you can't detect the accent until we actually start talking.
Right.
So exactly right, 100%. All right.
So
Go ahead.
exactly,
Go
and
ahead.
so that goes to one last part of it with the
Yep.
flow of what matters. Like you said here, you said it's great flow makes difficult patterns sound effortless, and part of that is because of the speed of the song or the
Right.
speed of the music. So if sometimes it's harder to sing things if it's slower
Right.
because it requires your breath control to be a certain way to kind of emphasize or hold something out versus a song that's faster. Or
Right.
sometimes a song that's faster, it may be harder to get all of the consonants and all of
Right.
the vowels out.
Right.
So you said you brought Rihanna up. So the
Yeah.
perfect example of a flow will be this from the Black Panther. So she does this whole thing where she'll go like, but like it's slower, so
Yeah.
there's still a flow for. I'm just using that as an example. So that's an idea of flow, but it's a difficult flow. It sounds easier than it is, but because
But it's right. It sounds easier than it is, as most things in life. When it's really really good and you perfect it, it looks
yeah,
easier than it
yeah.
really is, right? So big up DJ Easy. All right, so let's give people like a simple example, so something everyday. So for instance, we would have to say, we could say happy birthday to you, right?
Mhm.
So that's one,
Then
right?
and we wait till
Happy birthday to you. Right? And then now there's the same words, different flow. Happy birthday. Happy
right.
birthday. You know that one, right? So
Yep.
it's right. So go ahead. What
And
were
so,
you saying?
but the same thing is if we even do the slow version and we
Yeah.
add the how old are you, even how
Yeah.
doing that, the consonants are different. Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. So yeah, flow. Like I said, it deals with, like you said, kind of being able to use those rhythms, but the timing with the speed.
That's right.
So when
That's
you say
right.
timing, I would definitely say speed there.
Speed, timing, speed. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right. Now for cadence. First of all, let's check on time. Let's check on time. How are you for time? Is
I'm
106
good.
right
I'm
now? You're
good.
good?
I'm good. I'm
Okay,
good.
you know my OCD. I have to make sure that you're okay and when I'm okay, everybody's okay.
We're
Okay,
we're,
so
we're good.
we're good. All right, buddy. So okay, cadence. What
So
it is. So
cadence it's actually, believe it or not, it's how a phrase ends and feels finished to go to the next thing. That's actually what, it's kind of like it's ending something to
huh.
to get us to the next place. That's actually what a cadence is.
Well, when we're talking about in music, isn't it the pattern and the placements of the syllables?
It
Like,
it
right? Like how the
could
word hits the beat then? No?
yeah, there's a couple of ways. Yeah, it's about the punctuation for sure, but it also is it's kind of where something else is kind of happening. So if I do this is actually a cadence. If I do this, that's a
Right,
cadence.
right,
And
right.
then so that is it's how the phrase is, like it almost kind of feels like it's finished.
Yeah, yeah.
Biggest, like the easiest way of a cadence, and I do this all the time, and I'm gonna just irritate everybody if I do this.
Uh.
But no, I didn't end it.
I know, but my brain anticipated it.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
but that's literally how a cadence is. So yeah, we can use that, and definitely how we sing it can be that. Or I'm just using it kind of like right now in the instrumental. If I do this,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
got me. So
It's like
that's
it's almost like the mood underneath the song.
exactly. Yep,
Because you
yep.
know what, too, Brandon, like how you would sing a song for musical theater is a different way you would sing a song for R&B, different way that you would sing a song for jazz, basically,
Yes.
right? So it's like it's a different personality coming out in the song.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Good.
absolutely, but it should feel like the cadence should feel like it's almost like the end of a statement, and you're just going, huh, that's resolved.
Resolved. Okay, I got it. Best up, Imhotep, my brother. Best up, best up. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let me show it. It's showing. Yeah, thank you so much.
I hope this is making sense. I hope I'm
No,
not.
it is making sense, Brandon. But the thing is this, right? And we're breaking it down for our people, right? It is
Yeah.
making sense. And listen, we don't have to underestimate the intelligence of our people, especially the Jamaican people, because we are very musical people. It's just sometimes they don't have the words for what it is that they know. You see what I'm
and
saying?
and I always say, I hope it makes sense. I'm a professor, I'm an educator, but I always have this. If I give it to you one way and you don't get it, I want to have about 40 other ways to try to explain it.
I
So
know that, Brandon. I know that about you, 100%.
so yeah, but that's the
Yeah,
cadence. Like I said, so I'll give you an example. So
yeah.
if we're doing I'm trying to if I did Michael Jackson
Yeah.
and then Billie Jean
Mm, yeah.
every time we the
Do the
kid is
staccato. Yeah.
not my that is literally
That is literally the kid. Yeah. 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 That's literally the kid. Yeah.
the
The
phrase is
personality,
ending.
the phrasing, the mood, the character, the completeness of it.
It
Got it.
settles yourself and it's like
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Got
if
it.
you just ended that song,
I would be so dissatisfied. I would be so mad at you. Right? All right. So let's continue. All right. So we did flow already.
yeah.
Yeah. We did lyrics. Yeah. So this is what we say. The lyrics are just the actual words. The lyrics
Hmm.
communicate the story, the message. The message does communicate the emotion to everything in the song create communicates emotion. So it's not just the lyrics that create emotion, because as I said
Yeah.
before, I listen to music that I don't even know what they're saying, but I still get the emotion from the song, right? Apart from the lyrics, right? But the
Hmm.
lyrics do give you a story. If you understand the language, they give you the imagery, right?
Yeah.
So I say the lyrics create relatability, right? The storytelling and also the quotables, which is big for dancehall, right? The quotables and the things that actually influence the culture, etc. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Okay. So okay, we can move on from that. So we're good with that, or you want to add something?
No, I think that gets you right to. I think you had hook.
Hook,
Yep. There we
right?
go.
So this here, the catchiest part of the song, the section designed to grab attention. Pay attention, you music writers. Go ahead, Brandon. Tell us what you want to say.
Yeah. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
hook and chorus are almost kind of interchangeable. But like you said, it's what you kind of that sticks with you. So it goes back to, like you literally said, what the lyrics are.
Mm-hmm.
Most parts of, like I said, what we have, it could be a song could have literally, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Like you brought up a dance song.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring up the Cupid Shuffle.
Oh my
There
God.
are so many
So
lyrics.
many, so much. Go ahead, do it.
You said you hated something?
No, no, no. Go ahead, do it. Good, do it. It's bringing me down memory lane. Go ahead.
No, but I say that to say
Yeah,
but everybody has. Now, here's the funny part about that song.
yeah.
Everybody has a part that is the hook for them.
That's right.
Like somebody's hook could be everybody clap your hands,
Yeah,
and that could be a hook because we're everybody's doing. But
yeah.
somebody might be slide to the
It's
left,
left,
slide to the
slide to
right.
the right. Yeah.
Somebody else might just be bring
Jump,
it
jump
back
up
now,
right
down.
now.
And
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
so it does matter. Like that's kind of now that's a very um differentiated version of a hook because there's so many different. But everybody has something that now for an example of a hook would be like what's the Bruno Mars, like what's the other one, I'm trying to think of his
No, which
um
one? Um,
I just had it on the tip of my tongue and I'm thinking now um
I don't know if that's yeah. You're right. You know, the hook and the chorus can be interchangeable. When I'm
Uptown
thinking of
Funk go to bring it to
of
you.
the
Uptown Funk gonna bring it to you.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't believe me, just
Just
watch.
watch. Ow!
Don't believe.
Believe me, just watch.
So, but like literally, it's still part of that chorus of yep. Saturday night.
You know that.
Don't
Don't
believe.
believe me,
So the
just
don't believe
yeah.
me, just watch is part of it. But you can't. the thing about that hook is you still have to have that other part in it to get
That's
you
right.
there,
To get you there.
right?
Yeah.
But that's still like it's literally like those two pieces as part of the chorus and part of the hook, which is like don't believe me, just watch. The difference with like a Cupid shuffle is like I said,
Mhm.
is like you've got all of these
All
different
of
parts
these different hooks.
that could be your hook. Yep.
That could be a hook, right? Right.
But yeah, I kind of interchange hook and chorus just for myself. Like it's almost it's the part that kind of sticks. It doesn't always have to be the melody.
Right. Right.
So I'll give you so this is a melody, but okay, we'll do this now. I'm gonna play this. Tell me what is the hook
Okay.
and what's the melody. If I
Go
get
ahead. Yeah. That's
mm-hmm.
Alicia Keys. Yeah.
Right.
It ain't you, baby.
Yep.
Right?
That's really your
That's
hook.
the hook. That's the hook. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
But
yeah, that's the
but the
part I
other part,
remember.
some people live for
That's
that
that
is
leads to the hook.
that's still your
That's
lyrics.
still the lyrics.
Yeah.
Um, but
I know I'm giving you
no, 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 no. We're going to figure this out because listen, the thing is, the hook, according to God rest his soul, and I hope I'm right, Professor Salman, the hook
yeah.
is supposed to live in the chorus, is it not?
It can, yeah, that's why I said yeah, part of it can. That's correct.
Right,
So now what you when that first part of it, some people, that's your verse.
right,
But yeah, that is part of the chorus. You are correct.
right,
You are
right,
correct.
right. That's other right. Okay, good. Well, not me. Bless his soul. So Professor Salman is correct.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. All right. So chorus. This is the main repeated section. This is what I have. This is
Hmm.
often as I said, contains the hook. Example, the hook is one memorable phrase. The
Yes.
chorus is the entire repeated section.
Correct.
Right?
That's correct.
Give us an example because many people confuse the hook and chorus because the hook exists inside a chorus, but the chorus is the entire section. So give us an example of a chorus.
I'm trying to think, and then you're saying of a hook, and
Imhotep says,
I gave you one with
when
that
you
one. I'm trying to think of another.
when you finish with that, if you can play before you leave, play "Oh Fortuna" by Carl, or if you can for Imhotep, he's asking for that, and some people want it all as a hook itself. He says, but okay, continue, my dear,
I'm
because I
trying
know
to
you
think.
don't have
Yeah, I'm
much
trying
time.
to think of a
Yeah.
uh, I'm trying to think of one again that everybody would.
Um.
Okay. Yep. Is that the right one? I'm trying to.
Do a Stevie Wonder one that
That's
everybody
what. No,
knows.
that's what. Why are you in my mind? Because
I'm
that's where
all because you know I'm telepathic.
that's that's where I'm trying, and I'm trying to think of. Okay, perfect. Here's one.
Yeah.
We got the end. So that's a chorus,
Yeah.
and that's also can be
The hook.
yeah, yep, that can be also part of the hook. There, I'm trying to think of another. Right.
You can be
Now it's really the hook in that sense because the second, third time that Stevie does that,
yeah.
he changes it up just a little
He
bit,
sure does. He sure
but
does.
it's still in the same. So that's an idea of one. but where they're kind of sandwiched together. I'm trying to think of another.
Okay, no, let me ask you this one for Stevie Wonder because he's complicated. Because sometimes I listen to the music and I'm like trying to differentiate. I'm like, well, Julia, maybe you think that's the hook because that's the most memorable part for you. But
Mm-hmm.
like, say when he says, and though you don't believe that
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
they do come true.
Yep.
For did my dream? Yeah,
Yep. Yep. That's an idea of a chorus, but that is definitely a hook.
right, right.
Yep.
Come true. Yeah.
That is
For
a
did
perfect
my dream?
example.
Yeah, that's good because that's the part that will stick out too. And you know what? And it's actually a part of the chorus too.
Perfect example of a more extended hook. Let me say extended hook.
Yeah.
Stevie, since we're staying there, so the chorus is um
For which one? Yeah.
ribbon in the sky.
Yeah.
And then he does this hook right here. He goes, that's
Yeah.
still,
La, 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 la,
and he'll go that.
la, la.
So that's
No,
still a hook
that's
there.
still a hook there. But the most memorable part of it is there's a ribbon that
And
you
then he'll extend it
call
again.
love.
Ribbon in the sky.
Yeah.
Or he'll do ribbon in the
And
sky.
in the sky.
Love, love,
Yeah.
breaking. So he does all of
He
those.
does all of those runs. Yeah.
So that's a
That's
perfect example of a chorus with a hook. But
Mm.
yeah, that's actually the best kind of example from
Thank you.
his.
You know I'm good at examples. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's move on now. So verse. Oh, big up invest, and big up Hannibal. Big up Hannibal. All right, so verse. What it is. So I say the verse is the storytelling section, right? Of
Yep.
course, it's compiled of the lyrics, right?
Yep.
But the verse moves the song forward, right?
Yep.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
almost your introduction as well to the piece. It establishes your mood. It establishes, like you said, the feeling.
The feeling.
It'll establish the main idea. Yeah, but your verse is also your lyric, right?
Right.
So it's yeah.
Right. So another thing I want to say, but I didn't type it here. What I was trying to explain to a musician the other day was the hooks. Yeah, it has a lot to do with psychology because the brain loves patterns, right?
Right.
And that's why Rihanna found that formula with chanting, which is really from her African roots. But she has a lot of chants that make things stick, like Ella, Ella,
Yep.
under my umbrella. You know what I mean? So that's an actual chant. And like when you listen to some of our other songs, you hear that as well, right? You hear a lot of
Correct.
the pattern recognition. So you see, like how you gave me discomfort a while ago when you played the verse and you just ended it without ending it, and my body was just like, give me the next note because your brain is anticipating it. It's the same thing with hooks. Like it actually gives us a dopamine rush to have that that pattern recognition in the brain.
That's correct.
Okay, good. All right, the bridge. This is the part that I always have a problem with writing in the songs, the bridge. And you are good with this part, which we are good with everything, but with this part especially. This is the section that breaks the repetition, right? And
Right.
it usually appears later in the song. It's supposed to provide contrast and give the listener something new. So give us an example of a bridge that
So
you can think of.
so the other part about that is still recognizing that there's every song has a structure.
Yeah,
Like, and what I kind of call it is like more basically like a ABA or intro verse, chorus verse, and then you have your bridge. Your bridge is basically taking you most times
away.
to eat. Well, it's either taking you from something familiar just for a second
Hmm.
to bring us back to something familiar, or like a kind of a derivative of that, which will probably bring you to your, like you said, your hook,
Right,
or your chorus or your vamp, right?
right.
And so yeah, it kind of just builds us and gets us to, I'm trying to think of
It's
one.
like a break, right? It's like a
It's well,
break
it's
in the
like a
pattern.
well, it's no, it helps to carry us to the next part. So I'm trying to think of
Mariah
mm,
Carey has bridges. Do one for Mariah Carey.
yeah, and I've got about 4 minutes, so I'm trying to think of
Oh, you have 4 minutes now? Oh no, let's see. Yeah, you
let's see,
do.
but I'm trying to give me. I'm trying to think. You said a Mariah Carey. What's the one I'm thinking of?
Do Dream Lover if you
Oh,
can. She has
what's
a
the?
great bridge in Dream Lover, I think.
And I'm sorry, my mind's going. I'm trying to think through.
I need you so desperately. Um, no, that's not a good
Oh,
one.
I'll give you a perfect.
Yeah.
So, um, a bridge. I'm trying to think of something.
Do a gospel song. They have a lot of bridges.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of a Here we go.
Right.
So your verse. That's your verse. Yep. So that's your bridge, and it brings us back to. And then we're kind of. So we're over the rainbow, and then I'm giving my, your musical theater, right?
Yeah. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Love that. Love that. Okay, so since you have to leave, I'm going to skip a lot of slides. I'm going to go through the slides with my audience
And we
after you go.
and we'll yeah, and we like I said,
But
if there's
one thing slide I want you to leave with them, okay? Because this is the
sure.
main one. This is the hierarchy that I came up with. It may be wrong. This is the
Hmm.
hierarchy of what most listeners notice. And I did that just from my own experiment, right?
Yeah.
So with me, the hook
Yep.
first, melody. Of course,
Hmm.
I noticed next the chorus,
Yep.
then the rhythm, the vocal delivery, then the flow, which is a part of the
Hmm.
vocal delivery, the cadence, which combines a lot of these, and
Yes.
then the arrangement and the production details. So most casual listeners never consciously think about the cadence or the phrasing. They simply say that song sounds good, but they're what they're doing is is responding to the combination of everything, right? So tell me
And
what
what
you think. Yeah,
feels good. What feels good.
what feels good.
That goes to what you're talking about with arrangement and production details. Sometimes there are songs that may have a whole orchestra, but you might be it's so much sound you can't process it. Sometimes
Right.
less is more.
That's right.
So sometimes even having less instruments in your tones, in your like your collection of sounds, like maybe just all you need is a piano and violins and maybe one drum.
That's right.
You don't necessarily need three guitars, two keyboards,
Words.
a drum machine,
Right.
and an organ, and
Right.
then yeah. So
And that comes back to psychology again because the brain is
correct.
making it difficult for the brain to actually decipher it and actually
Yep.
hook to a thing.
That's
That's
it.
right.
That's
That's
it.
good. That's good.
So like I said, even though that's lower on the space, I always tell people it's that um music makes you hear it, but you internalize and feel it.
That's right.
So yep.
That's right. That's right. That's right. One last one. I wanted to give this example because a lot of the audience is dancehall, right? So this is what I came up with, right? So here's a cadence example,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So one artist would say, I told them I was coming.
Right.
Artist two would say, I told them I was coming.
Right. Yep.
Another artist would say, I told them I was coming.
Yep.
right? So it's the mood, right? That can have the staccato, can have the
Correct. Correct.
right,
Correct.
right.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yeah. It's the placement, like you said. It's the placement of it. Yep. The
the stress
syllables.
patterns and
The,
oh, you have to go.
yep.
Okay,
Yep. Yeah. They're sending me
let's
a message
do.
now. But yeah, that's.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's the same thing. Yep. Yep. I told them I was coming, or I told them I was going,
yeah.
or maybe I told them I was coming. Like
Yeah.
it's how we deliver it. Yep.
All right.
Now the
Listen.
perfect people that do that, this will be
Yeah.
the last thing I say,
Yeah.
are those freaking people that do
I
jingles.
know. I know.
I have a
Just
structured
like your
settlement
settlement,
and I
and
need cash now.
now
It's called
because
JG,
OG
but it's
Wentworth.
literally how how the cadence, how it's placed.
Yeah.
877 cash now. Now you wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say I'm calling 877 cash now. Like
But it makes you remember the phone number.
exactly.
It makes you remember the things, right? Cause
Correct.
JG Wentworth. Yeah,
Exactly.
876. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, Brandon, thank you for being here. I know you gotta run.
No, thank you. Thank you.
And
I hope
go
to be
ahead.
back soon.
You will be back soon. And bless you. And I know you moved heaven and earth to be here today. So we appreciate you and
Much.
bless you and have a great day. Okay. I'm going to
Have a
continue
great
with
day,
the lessons with my
everybody.
people. All right, buddy. Bye. Hey, Fire Nation. Yeah, sorry I had to rush. Listen, it took me like 15 minutes to change it from um, members only to public. Because when a little bit of stress happened, I was like, you know what, I'm doing my live members only because I don't want any extra noise. I just want to teach. And I think I scheduled a lot of them that way, right? Only the books should be members only. So I apologize for that and I'll fix that, right? So he explained what the bridge is, right? So the intro, let me see the chat. The bridge could be a pre-chorus. Yes, Andrew, that's right. The bridge can be a pre-chorus. That's right. Right? Um, Usher, Neo, too sad. Right? So, okay. So the intro, that's the opening section of it. And sometimes the intro to a song is just a musical, right? When you hear, and that's why too, even in dance hall, you hear the intro. Sometimes they just pull it up before the words even start because the song is so distinctive from that particular intro, right? Sometimes a good beat, a good rhythm becomes the intro, right? Just like the pepper seed rhythm. That's one of actually that's my favorite rhythm in dancehall, pepper seed rhythm, right? So a lot of times when people hear that, they get ready, right? Because it introduces that song. It sets the mood. It creates expectation. We don't know which song is going to play, but we know it's one of the good ones, right? Right? So that's the opening section, right? So it introduces the listener to the song's world. Okay? The outro is the ending section that leaves the final impression, right? Right? Good. Harmony. Now, this is important. When it comes to harmony, that's the additional notes sung alongside the melody. Remember, the melody is like the tune, is what you're hearing, what you hear that can't get it out of your head, right? Right? The additional notes sung with the melody, that is the harmony. Example, multiple voices singing different notes that go good together. Think of like a choir, right? Think of like a choir, like a church choir, right? They're singing different notes, and when it comes together, you're like, wow, it sounds fantastic, right? It adds richness and depth. That's the harmony. Okay. Now, don't confuse harmony with balance. It doesn't have to be balanced to be harmonious. Okay. And that's also a business lesson, too. Right. Now, the vocal delivery, this is what we're talking about, is how the artist perform the words. Right. That's why we say, like, the vocal delivery for a musical is completely different than the vocal delivery for an R&B song, right? Completely different. It's the emotions, it's the tone, it's the energy and the attitude. Vocal delivery for a reggae song is different than the vocal delivery for a dancehall song. You find dancehall songs have a lot more staccato, right? Staccato means sharp beats, okay? Right? Not even beats, sharp notes, right? Like he was just playing, okay? Sometimes mediocre lyrics become great because of the delivery. It's fact. So that's why I want the songwriters to understand each element, each ingredient in this part of your song is important, right? So sometimes it's good to test yourself to see where you can improve on what the vocal delivery, the intro, the hook, the phrasing, how you do it, right? Right? Like what I was just explaining to him when we used to sing. Lots of time people come meet me afterwards and they're like, I didn't even know you had an accent. Because when I talk different than when you sing. Same thing with Rihanna. You can't really hear her accent when she's singing, right? Good. The tone, that's the character of your voice, right? Whether it's aggressive, smooth, emotional, gritty, or vulnerable. Now, the tone can get really identical, like not identical, like identifying then, right? 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 Like when you hear Bone to Killer, you know his tone different than a Movado's tone. Okay? And different songs will have different tones because they have different stories and they want different elements. Okay? Right? So the phrasing now, right, is how the artist group the words and the sentence. It has a lot to do with the cadence as well, right? The phrasing affects the emotion and the uniqueness, right? Right? Just like we were talking about how is how you say it. Like I told him I would come. I told him I would come. Different. Same words, same lyrics, right? Different. Now, the breath control, this is what matters when you sing, right? And this is why I want singers to start to, when you run on the treadmill, sing your song, right? Do deep breathing exercises, swim, right? Because it makes you able to deliver without losing energy. Who is great at that? Celine Dion. Who is great at that? Mariah Carey. You understand? Now, let's go to the rap. Who is good at breath control when it comes on to rapping? Think about it. Have you ever heard Twister? Remember Twister? Right? He has fantastic breath control, fast flows, long phrases, right? So that's something that artists should work on as well, right? Then you have the dynamics, right? Which is a change in the volume and the intensity, right? Oh, Blingers Vlogs, I didn't see you there enjoying this live. Big up Miss Julia and the professor. Big up Blingers Vlogs, I didn't see you there, my dear. Thanks for being here. I didn't expect anybody to be here really because it's 12:30 in the middle of the day, right? So the dynamics, it changes in volume and intensity, right? Example, there's a quiet verse and then there's an explosive chorus. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like the attitude of the song. It creates excitement, right? Right? Good. And you find this a lot in musical theater, right? Then there's the tempo, which is the speed of the song. This is measured in BPM, right? BPM is beats per minute, right? So slow would be 70 beats per minute, medium 100, fast 140 beats per minute, right? So tempo is important. Just like tempo helps to create the mood as well. Same thing like when you're talking, right? Tempo, it gives depth as well, right? We went over to the beat. Now, the bass line. This is the low frequency musical foundation, right? It creates the groove and the power. It's just like I wish he was here to explain the bass line. Investors, I really hope VK is listening this live because I sent it the good info. Okay. Imhotep says Eminem 2. That's right, Imhotep, Eminem 2. Right? Eminem 2. Right? The drum pattern. That is the rhythmic framework. Right? It's basically the rhythm, but it's the framework of the entire rhythm section. Right? Right? So percussions, that like drumming, right? It includes that. It includes the snare, the kick, the hi-hats, right? So that's the rhythmic framework, right? Which is the drum pattern. You see what I'm saying? So that is the rhythmic framework is the drum pattern is the rhythmic framework. Whatever the drum pattern is, that's the framework for the rhythm. Right? Right? Good. Now, instrumentation, right? That's just the instruments that are used. So the piano, guitar, synths, horns, and strings. So that's one of the reasons why, not reasons why, Julia, just reasons. That's one of the reasons Summertime is one of my favorite Vibes Cartel songs. Why? Because the intro, the piano rip there, the instrumentation is fantastic. I tell you guys all the time, Look up Scott Joplin, Ragtime. That intro for Summertime sounds exactly like ragtime music. Listen to it. Listen to the piano, right? The arrangement, what it is. No, the arrangement is the order of all the song selection. So it's the verse, the chorus, then the verse, then the chorus, then the bridge, then the chorus, then the outro. That's the arrangement. How the song is arranged, right? How the song is arranged is important. Okay? Good. Why it matters? Arrangement determines the pricing, right? Arrangement determines the pacing. Sorry, not the pricing. Arrangement determines the pacing. Okay? Good. What's the production? Right? The overall sonic design. Right? The overall sonic design. Okay? What does that include? Sound selection, effects, mixing decisions, right? That's the production, right? So the overall design, like how do you mix this song? What effects do you put in it? You see what I'm saying? And the sounds that go along to create that emotion that you want. Okay? Right? Mixing. Everybody talk about, oh, it don't mix good, it don't mix good. They don't know what they're talking. A lot of them don't know what they're talking about. Mixing is when you balance all the sounds together. Right? That's what mixing is. What's the purpose? It makes everything clear. Okay? Now the mastering. Now we talk about the masters as the final recording. Why? Because mastering is the final polish before releasing the song. Okay? That's the recording, the final recording, but it's the final polish before release. That's what they call mastering, right? It's important because it makes your song sound competitive on all platforms, right? No, I did a whole live on replay value, right? That is your desire to hear the song again. That's replay value. Your desire to hear the song again, right? Usually that comes from a strong melody, a strong hook, strong emotion, or familiarity, right? This is the psychology behind the music. What makes me want to come back and hear that song again, right? The strong melody, the tune is in my head, the strong hook, the strong emotion, right? The familiarity. Okay, good. Impact. What is it? The song's influence on the culture. That's the impact. Blessings, Garnet Reed, my dear. Blessings, Garnet Reed. Blessings, good to see you. Right? The impact, the song's influence on the culture. Right? Impact is not the same as popularity. It's not. Right? A song can be huge today and forgotten tomorrow. Remember, I told you about impact is what is left. Right? What is left. Right? The songwriting, right? The art of combining the melody, the lyrics, the structure, the emotion into one cohesive word. That's the songwriting. So, all of you who are songwriters and lyricists, right? You know this is what it is. Okay? Good. So, we talked about the hierarchy of what most listeners listen to, right? So, this is the flow versus cadence versus rhythm versus melody, like we were just talking with Brandon about it, right? Let's say the song is a car. The melody is the route. The rhythm will be the road, what you ride on, right? The cadence is the gear changes, the differences, right? The expression. The flow is how smoothly the driver drives, right? Yeah, a lot of albums and songs get appreciated over time. That's facts, right? First, the rhythm. The rhythm is the timing, like we were just talking about, right? The rhythm answers when the sound happens, right? The rhythm is the pattern of the beats and the spaces. So the silence is important, okay? Just like we were just talking about the clap, clap, clap. So this is organized timing. That's rhythm. Clap, 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 clap. The timing and the silence in between it all, right? That's the rhythm. You don't need words. You don't need singing. You don't even need music, like I just showed you a while ago, right? So the rhythm now That's in the drums, right? It can be in the vocals as well, expression, right? It's in the dance as well. That's why I say dancers, the people who are in musical theater who are really strong with dance, they always love rhythms of songs because that's how their body interprets it, right? Right? And the instruments, right? Without rhythm, there is no groove, there's no movement, there's no dance, there's no head nodding. The rhythm is the space, the organized timing, right? So rhythm is like the framework for all musical and physical expression. You need the rhythm and you need the silence in between to create that rhythm. Got it? Good. We did cadence already, right? But that's the pattern of the syllables that we were talking about, right? How the words are placed on the rhythm. Just like what I just said. How the words are placed on the rhythm, right? That's how I just placed those words, right? So the patterns of syllables. That's why you have accents, right? That's why people's accents are so different. You have to listen to the pattern of the word they put the syllables. You see what I'm saying? Right? Good. Good. So think of cadence as the architecture, the vocal architecture, right? The same thing I told you. I told them I was coming. Like if I was in musical theater, right? You would say it like that. Like if you're on stage musical theater, you say, I told them I was coming, right? Sounds Disney, right? If you're on film, you can't be that big, you can't be that expressive, right? So it's a different cadence. When you sing something for musical theater, it's completely different than when you sing something for R&B. Okay? Completely different. Right? Let me see if I can give you an example. Um, let's see. No, I can't say that one. All right. So again, I told them I was coming. Different than I told them I was coming. I told them I was coming. Cadence examples. We just went through that. Okay, good. Right? Same words, different cadence. Why? This cadence controls your syllable placements, just like the accents, and your stress patterns, just like the accents, right? And the pauses, right? This is why two artists can say the same exact thing, but sound completely different, right? Completely different. You see what I'm saying? So, for instance, let's see. Um, if I was singing, all right, let's see. Let me see if I can give you a good example. If I was singing, if you knew how much I loved you and how much I care for you, you wouldn't stay away. Right? If I'm singing that musical theater, it will be completely different. It will be more expressive, right? It will probably have a different type of expression, right? Right? It will become the syllable placements will be different for the musical theater environment, different than if I'm singing it just reggae. All right, good. So we went through flow. Flow is the movement. Flow is the ride. That's flow, right? Flow is like how you ride the beat. The flow is the surfing, right? How smoothly the artists ride the beat. You see what I'm saying? A lot of rappers, rappers and R&B people have this really good. You know who's good at this too? Shensia is actually very good at that with our flow. Really good, right? Na 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 na. Right? Right? So imagine two people driving the same road. One driver is jerky jerky. Another driver is smooth. The road is the same. The vehicle is the same. The difference is how they ride the road. The difference is the flow. Right? Right? Good. So here's the Fire Nation formula for you guys. And we're done now. We only have two more slides. Fire Nation formula. The flow is the cadence and the rhythm and the breath control and the timing and the delivery. Now, the breath control affects your timing and it affects your delivery. That's why singing for musical theater is different than singing for R&B. You see what I'm saying? Completely different. You have to have the ear to hear it, right? Right? Let me see if I can give you a musical theater example. Um, mm, mm, mm. Can't use that because I wrote that one. Um, mm, 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 mm. No, I can't use any of those. Those are fresh in my mind. Okay. Yeah. So basically, the flow is the way how you write it. Okay. The listener just says, "Oh, that sounds nice," right? But they don't even know that the artist is doing something technically very difficult. Breath control has a lot to do with that. You know who is good with this too? With the breath control, think of Luther Vandross with his runs. Think of Luther Vandross, right? Right? Good. Right? So the melody, remember the melody is the notes. The melody answers what notes are being sung. That's what's stuck in your head when you hear a song, the tune. The melody is what people hum, right? That's not the words, that's the tune. That's the thing that gets stuck in your head. That's the melody, right? So when somebody says that got stuck in my head, they're usually talking about the melody. No face, no case, no case today. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Right? So the melody, right? Now, the big difference, right? Remember, the rhythm is timing. That's timing, right? The cadence is the word placement, right? The flow is the movement across the timing. So the flow works very closely with the rhythm. That's a big difference, right? The melody is the musical notes. Okay? Let's make it easy. It's different between happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. That's different than happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Right? Different, completely different. Right? And different from how did she sing it again? Um Yeah. So you can figure it out, right? Sorry, my brain is too much things in my head. So the melody is the musical notes, the actual notes that you will play. The flow is how you move across the timing, right? The cadence is like the expression of the word placement, the syllables, right? The rhythm is the timing, right? We need the timing, right? So imagine a staircase. The rhythm would be the staircase itself. That's the entire structure is the rhythm, right? The pepper seed rhythm. The cadence is which steps you choose. You step one, then step three, then step five, stop. Step eight, that's cadence. The pause is important too, right? The flow is how smoothly you walk up and down those steps, right? Same thing with storytelling, same thing with musical theater. Sometimes when you give your voice, you have to have a certain flow to make it musical theater. Oh my God, did he really do that? Oh my gosh, she brought flowers. Oh no, right? That's that. So it's different for musical theater. It's different. It's a different flow. It different expression. Different for camera. Different for stage. Understand? Melody, right? That's where you're singing while you're walking. You're Hi, Kenny Marshall. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Right? Blessings. Vibes Cartel have great breath control as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does because he has to perform it on stage. But when you talk about the remarkable breath controls, you talk about Luther Vandross. You talk about Mariah Carey, who can actually hold the notes for long, right? You talk about Celine Dion, right? You talk about Beres Hammond, right? Right? That is what your breath control, where them hold the notes for long and they move, right? So yeah, right? Kenny Marshall, blessings, 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 Kenny Marshall, right? So now the rapper can have no melody, but amazing flow. Think of a twister, right? Twista in a lot of ways have an amazing flow, but he puts in melody. Some of his songs, so some of his raps, it don't have to have melody. Just like I think Imhotep was saying, Eminem, facts, right? Amazing flow. Why? Because the flow isn't the singing. The flow is the movement. The flow is the movement of the sound. Okay? A singer can have a simple flow and an incredible melody. Incredible melody. Right? So you have to know what your strengths are as a singer or as a DJ. Know what your strengths are. And the only way you're going to know that is if you know the different elements of the song, right? And if you know the different elements of the song, you can test yourself and you can actually practice. Don't practice what you're already good at. Okay, you're good at it. That's great. Keep practicing it. That's fine. But investigate the parts that you might not be as great at, right? And work on those. And then you become a better singer, a better artist, right? Right? Good. Melody is where the emotional connection is, right? Emotional connection, like the tune. So basically, when I sing happy birthday to ya, that's happy. That's like an emotional connection, right? That's different than um um very seductive. Happy birthday to you. Completely different, same words, right? But different emotional connection. See? Good. Right? No, dancehall. Why dancehall is unique, right? Is because dancehall artists, this is how powerful they are with the art. They often combine the melody, the flow, and the cadence at the same time. This is why a lot of people confuse them. You see what I'm saying? Because some of them are so talented that they don't even know what they're doing. But I want you guys to know what it is that you're doing so that you can know your strengths, so that you can work on them even more, right? And be better artists. See what I'm saying? A great dancehall artist that can sing a melody, change the cadence up, right? Switch up the flow and stay locked on the rhythm. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? All in the same verse. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you listen, when you go back over this live and listen to your music, whatever favorite music, whoever, whichever your favorite artist is, doesn't matter, right? Listen, okay, listen to it. You listen to music much different. Listen to it like an investigator, right? Now here's the test I made for you guys, and I want you guys to always remember this test, right? If I remove the notes, can you still have the rhythm? Yes. Why? What did I just show you? There's no notes there. Absolutely no notes there. There's not a B, a C, or D, or a E there, or E sharp. None of them. But you still have, that's the rhythm. Can you still have the cadence? Yes, that's the expression of it. I could also do, that's different than, right? Can you still have the flow? Yes. Yes, you still do, because it's how I moved across the time. But if I remove the notes, can you still have the melody? No, you cannot. Why? Because melody is the notes, right? The melody. You need the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You need that melody, right? That's what gets stuck. That's what gets stuck in your head, right? Right? Good. Na 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 na. Right? Good. If I remove the words, can the rhythm still exist? Yes, of course. Remove the words, the rhythm still exists. Can the melody still exist without the words? Of course. Na 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 na. Right? Good. The melody still exists without the words. Can the flow still exist? Usually not, because you use the words, right? The words affect the flow, how you moved across in time. See what I'm saying? Can the cadence still exist? No, because the cadence is like the flavor, the expression of the words. See what I'm saying? Why? Because cadence depends on syllables, like what I was telling you, accents, right? Syllables, right? Imhotep, uh, Imhotep, it says your device is not connected. It says let me add you to stage. Okay, I added you to stage. Almost finished. One last slide, right? So here is the Fire Nation takeaway for you guys. I want you to know, right? The rhythm is like the clock. The cadence is that pattern, right? The flow is the ride, hopefully, la 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 la, right? The melody is the tune, na 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 na, right? So a listener may fall in love with the melody. Depends on what type of listener you are. That's why sometimes when I listen to the men on the platforms, they don't notice, but I can tell what I can. I probably shouldn't say this, but I can tell what they appreciate by the songs that they love. Some people fall in love with melody. A lot of people who are musically inclined, like my buddy Brandon and my other friends, and even me too, we fall in love with the melody. Dancers, like musical theater, me and my other friends, we fall in love with the rhythm because how our bodies will move across the beat, right? A musician, they might admire the cadence, like the staccato and the boom 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 boom, right? The dramatic, the drama of it all, right? But Fire Nation, what often separates a good artist from a great artist is the ability to combine all four into something that feels effortless, memorable, and uniquely theirs. And that ends the presentation today. Blessings, Imhotep. Thanks for being here. Brother, you're on mute, so you can unmute now.
Yeah, bless up, Mrs. Blue Fire. You hear
Yes.
me?
Yeah, man, yeah, man. Can hear you loud and
Yeah,
clear.
man. Big up to the chat. I've been listening, right?
Mhm.
And I just want to say that there are some a cappella songs that have
Right.
been big hits in music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which is an indication there, like a cappellas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an indication that the rhythm itself
Mm-hmm.
um is not the determining factor as it relates to the song being a hit song, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with you that there are when it comes on to acapella, those are the anomalies. And I'm not gonna say anomalies, but they are unique. Acapellas are unique. People like to hear instruments, right? Because that's how music works. Music was designed from our frequencies. That's why you have um what 440 hertz and all those stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's predicated on the human frequency, right? Now, I'm a person like this where I'm more about rhythms and stuff like that. And that's why I was asking the guests to play O Fortuna
Mm-hmm.
by Carl Off, because that's one of the greatest compositions of all time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, as individuals who love music, because you have some people, honestly, it's not as if they love music. They might love a particular type of music and a particular type of artist,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's not about the love for the music in general. But music is about the melodies and the hooks from the 50s, 60s, 70s coming all the way up. It was primarily melodies and hooks that would captivate the audience,
Mm-hmm.
not just the lyrical content.
But I'm gonna correct something here, right? Because by a cappella, yes. So for Fire Nation, a cappella means that you perform a song with the voices only, no instruments, right? So the rhythm and the musical elements, they actually work differently, right? Because why? The voice is also an instrument. So your voice actually creates the rhythm in an a cappella song. And let me explain. So the rhythm is the pattern of the beats and the accents and the timing, like we just said, right? The pulse, right? So rhythm includes the tempo, which you get from the voice too, the beat, right? The meter, which is how the beats are grouped together, such as 4/4, the rhythm patterns, right? And the accents and the syncope. It's called syncopation. People look it up. Syncopation, right? Which is basically emphasizing certain beats or off beats, right? Now, what we learned in musical theater too is how rhythm is created in a cappella. Since there are no drums or no instruments, right? The singers create the rhythm through the vocal percussion, right? So sometimes you find a lot of them, they will beatbox like the like that. That is actually creating rhythm in the acapella, right? The bass vocal lines that establish the grooves, right, and people saying do that like or up there DL, you to say da da dee da 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 da, right? That's rhythmic syllables, and you probably don't even know that I'm doing that, right? So the acapella, it does have these things, but in a different way. So the melody of the acapella will be the main tune, right? The main tune and the main flow of the song, right? The rhythm would be my timing and my groove without the instruments, right? The texture now is how all the parts come together, right? And the timbre is that unique vocal sound and the tone colors. So the voice, never ever think that the voice is not an instrument on its own, because it is. And depending on the voice, you can hear the instrument. This is something that I learned. Even it was when Quincy Jones actually visited Howard, and he was talking to us about "We Are the World." I think I told you that story, Imhotep. And um, what he told us was, what he even demonstrated to us was that certain singers, you listen to them, you can hear their influence. And he was right. For instance, when we listen to Luther Vandross, we can clearly hear the piano. When you listen to me sing, you can hear a lot of the piano and a little bit of wind, because that's what I grew up playing, right? When you listen to Mariah Carey, she's kind of sound like a violin. Same thing with Celine Dion. Like the way how she have her notes, the way how she holds her notes, the tone of her notes and the pitch of her notes is very much like a violin. And actually, she was trained on that too. She really loved the violin, even though she was trained on piano, but she loved it. So you find her voice imitates those pitches. It's the same thing with Luther Vandross, right? So I don't want people to ever think that your voice is not an instrument. Your voice is an instrument, right? So I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
Right. So in music, right? Even in the basic preliminary stages of learning music, and every musician must know and learn do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right?
Of course.
Because these are the foundations, the key components of music composition. When it comes on to like acapellas, right? It was more of something where you can use your vocals, right, without instruments,
Right.
and that was a big plus. So my point is, right, when it comes on to music, yes, instruments, very key components, but also people identified the fact that they could use their vocals
Right.
and create melodies and stuff like that,
Right.
and hooks, and yes, right, and which was a big plus, right?
Right. Right.
But but my perspective is that in music, when it comes down to the acapella, they could create the melodies and the hooks based off that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
That's right. That's right.
Because the music is a derivative from that,
Right.
right?
And
But
all.
but
Go ahead.
yes,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just showing that irrespective of rhythms and drums and all those stuff, there are contributing factors to the derivatives of enunciations.
That's right. That's right. And the thing is, what people, when we were doing music history, right, which is a part of the musical theater and everything, um, when you go to the nitty gritty of it, human beings imitate the sound. So we usually imitate the wind, imitate the rain, imitate all the things that we hear. So even in the case of do re mi la, si,
The birds,
right. So even in the imitation of do re mi fa sol la ti do, right? It's still moving up the keys, and it imitates the keys on the piano, right? So it's a matter of just having the ear for it. But what I'm saying is you can create those things with your voice if you have enough control and if you know what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? And you also create the mood, because the way how you sing a jazz song is different than the way how you sing a R&B song. And even if it's the same song, right? Even if it's the same song. So you can sing um summertime and the living is easy, right? And then no, when you sing it R&B, it's completely different. You can't hold the notes that long. You have to basically change it up, right? I don't want to do it right now, but it's how you move your voice matters for what it is that you're doing and the mood that you're trying to create. That's what I'm trying to say. And I want people, especially the writers, to know about the different elements and how important it is for you to have a good hook. And I want them to understand the psychology of what makes something stick. Because if you think
So
about, yeah, go ahead.
a quick question though.
Yeah.
I see where you